Anthony Ray Hinton's The Sun Does Shine: How I Found Life and Freedom on Death Row is a harrowing yet profoundly inspiring memoir that chronicles his wrongful conviction, 3 decades of incarceration on Alabama's death row, and his eventual release. Selected for Oprah's book club, the book is both a personal testimony and a broader indictment of systemic injustice in the American criminal justice system. The book begins with Hinton's central thesis: even in the darkest circumstances, hope and faith can sustain the human spirit. He insists that his survival was not only a matter of endurance, but of choosing joy, forgiveness, and resilience in the face of unimaginable suffering. His narrative is infused with honesty and compassion, seeking to capture both the tragedy of injustice and the triumph of the human spirit. A central theme of the memoir is the resilience of hope. Hinton explains how, despite being innocent, he was convicted of 2 murders and sentenced to death. He recounts the despair of entering death row, the fear of execution, and the crushing weight of injustice. Yet he insists that hope was his lifeline, enabling him to endure decades of confinement. The narrative is enriched with vivid portraits of key figures: Anthony Ray Hinton, the author himself, whose courage and faith sustained him for 30 years on death row; Bryan Stevenson, the renowned lawyer and founder of the Equal Justice Initiative, whose advocacy ultimately secured Hinton's release; death row inmates, fellow prisoners whose humanity and camaraderie shaped Hinton's experience; the justice system, judges, prosecutors, and institutions whose failures highlight systemic flaws. Hinton also explores the role of faith. He describes how prayer, scripture, and belief in God sustained him through despair. His reflections highlight the transformative power of faith, showing how it provided strength and meaning even in confinement. The book examines the brutality of death row. Hinton recounts the isolation, the executions of fellow inmates, and the psychological toll of waiting for death. His storytelling blends personal testimony with broader reflections on justice, ensuring that readers grasp both the individual and systemic dimensions of the tragedy. Stylistically, Hinton writes with clarity and emotional depth. His prose is vivid, blending memoir with moral reflection. He avoids bitterness, focusing instead on forgiveness and resilience. His tone is compassionate and inspiring, inviting readers to reflect on the meaning of justice and humanity. The climax of the book lies in Hinton's release in 2015 after the Supreme Court unanimously overturned his conviction. He portrays this moment with breathtaking detail: the joy of freedom, the embrace of loved ones, and the vindication of truth. His portrayal is both sobering and uplifting, affirming his central message, that the sun does shine, even after decades of darkness. In resolution, The Sun Does Shine affirms Hinton's reputation as a voice of courage and hope. His book is both a memoir and a manifesto, offering readers a framework for understanding resilience, forgiveness, and justice. For readers, the book is both heartbreaking and inspiring. It challenges assumptions about justice, provides insight into the resilience of the human spirit, and offers hope for those seeking redemption. Whether you are drawn to memoirs, social justice, or stories of resilience, Hinton's work is essential reading.